Hello there YouTubers, welcome back to my channel, Workshop Fun. Well, today I'd like to discuss some updates about the caravan and what's been happening. First of all, the big one is the new 20.3 litre hot water cylinder. It's a Suburban. Now originally this caravan had a 10.5 litre hot water cylinder, so pathetic. Anyway, there's reasons why, like, I know a lot of people out there right now are going tankless, and I did try and explain this in a previous video which I didn't really feel explained it properly, so I've deleted that one for now. So just to cut a long story short, the reason why I've gone with a water cylinder still, a hot water cylinder, is simply because I can use it for basically dumping my excess solar. I do have 1435 watts on my roof, and once my batteries are full, it would be nice to know that my solar power is still doing something. So a tank for me was more viable than a tankless. So Mum helped me. So Mum and me turned around and laid this vinyl down, and I built this, well, I cut out the hole for the hot water cylinder, and then I built this frame in, which I've just painted black with gloss enamel, and glued and screwed that to the wall to basically reinforce the wall after chopping a big hole in it. And then, as the instructions advise you to do, I turn around and cut out these two bits of timber. You put them on either end as a chock. They recommend 2" by 2" wide and by 6" long, so that's exactly what I did. And I used the same glue that I used to glue the hot water cylinder in on the outside to also glue these blocks down to the vinyl as well as the screws, and in there firmly against the cylinder, of course, as the instructions require. So that will stop the back end of the cylinder moving around at all under, you know, when the caravan's being towed. Now I'll just pause this and we'll come to the outside of the cylinder. So for anyone who hasn't seen the outside of one of these cylinders, this is what they look like. And you got this little tab here, so you simply lift it up, the tab, bring it across, and then this just comes down on its hinge. And then you got the inside of the, well, you basically got the control center of your hot water cylinder. So these are your reset switches if anything goes wrong. Also, this one is gas and electric. I always want the gas option as well. So you got your bleeder valve to get rid of air pressure in your cylinder. So I believe that's quite handy for when you're filling it initially. You got your 240 volt hot water element, and then you got your gas element and the gas solenoid. So I still have to hook up the gas yet, but that's actually kind of the easy part, really. Basically getting this thing in here was the hard part. So once I built that frame and glued and screwed it into place, then I glued and screwed this hot water cylinder into place, and I used a very good marine grade Sally's adhesive. It's one of the best I could find in my local hardware, and it's extremely good. It's got a 10-year guarantee, and of course made for the outdoors, so wonderful. Now to simply, and that's the other thing about these Suburban hot water cylinders, once a year it is advised to pull this anode out and replace it, because it's the sacrificial, it's a sacrificial anode. It's stops your hot water cylinder from being attacked, and it takes the brunt. So you pull it out. Apparently you're meant to pull it out every quarter, so I guess that's every 3 to 4 months, and check it, and then once a year replace it. So I'll certainly be doing that. Okay, now to put this lid back on, it's really easy. You just fold it up with its hinge, then you got this tab, you just simply pull it out and fold it down, and done. Now the lid is locked in place and can't go anywhere. Okay, right, I've just taken you guys over to the other side of my caravan. It's hard to see at the moment, but this is the new pickup, air pickup for my inside fan for my bedroom. I had to custom make this, but it's hard to see, but there is this vent here, and I've put a stainless steel fine woven mesh around it, and then I attached that plastic vent to a plastic, what would you call it? Oh my goodness. I attached that to a plastic floor mount, oh for goodness sakes, the name slips my mind, but anyway, through the other bit of plastic pipe, which has a square flanged end so I can mount it to the floor, I was able to then glue those two bits together and then secure this to the floor nicely of the caravan. And then I'll take you inside. Okay, now we're inside, and just down here is the one-way valve, so that stops the wind coming in and keeping me awake at night, and opens automatically when the fan starts working. So that's fantastic, and it seals it of course to the floor. So I glued and screwed that in too, so there's a perfect seal to the floor now, and it picks up the nice fresh air from underneath the floor and filters it through that fine stainless steel woven mesh that's in there, and on the underneath duct. And then that's the top, so I can turn this on just at my bedside with this speed controller, and I can turn it right down. It's very, very quiet and puts a lot of fresh air in, so it'll be very nice in summer. So I'll just turn that off now. So that's that all done. This is a completed project now. So just a bit more interior decorating to do there though, but it's all getting there. Now, last but not least is my bathroom, what I've been doing in here. I started doing this a few days ago, so it's pretty obvious what I've been doing. I have built a new countertop. I built that over the top of the old one. I threw out the old rubbish plastic sink and bought this bowl that's a top mount bowl and installed it on this. Then I, through the suggestion of my friend, he told me about this idea, I glued some vinyl onto the bit of ply that I'd glued over the top of the original countertop and cut it out to the shape that I wanted, or the same shape as the old top, because I quite liked that. And that's, I used a very good firm adhesive for that. Then I turned around and put this top back on and glued it at the back and at the side here with that same adhesive that I used on the hot water cylinder. So very, very watertight, so no water will run back there and cause any rot. Then after that I was able to secure the basin on here. And then just today I bought some wood, and then I routed these edges and glued and screwed these into place. So I made this wooden trim, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And I have sanded it down to just bare wood. It's treated wood though, so don't get me wrong, I haven't just used any old wood. And then I am now feeding it with olive oil to stain it, or more or less bring out the natural colour of the pine to suit the rest of the cabinet. Excuse me. So that's coming, well, that's basically nearly finished. I bought this really nice tall faucet. It looks lovely and simplistic too, and I've just done the plumbing for that. So that's the faucet all put in. So next up will be, of course, the plumbing for the drain. No worries though. So yeah, that's a huge improvement in the bathroom. So I've also just been starting to tidy up everything in here now. Like, you know, I've cleaned off the stainless a bit more. I've cleaned off the really nice towel rails that I brought, and they got covered in dust and crap. So that's all clean. I had this lovely boat given to me by a friend, and I've used double-sided tape and stuck that there so it won't go anywhere. And yeah, there's been a ton of work in this little bathroom, but once again, it's coming along and it's starting to look nice. Yeah, the wooden trim, that's come up really nice. It's actually sort of blending in well with the rest of it. And the new vinyl top, in my opinion, I reckon that really suits the bathroom. It's looking really nice in there. So it's all coming along bit by bit. So that's just an update on what I've been doing. I haven't really done anything more out here. It's just, it's not really been the main objective lately. So yeah, that's about all for now. If you have any questions or want to know anything, feel free to ask, and hope everybody has a nice evening. Thank you.